This is a letter from Genevieve Sully, which was included in the Emperor of Dreams, our Bible. It was in the fall of 1919 that we first met Clark and became interested in his poetry. We were all congenial from the start, and the world of art and literature became our chief subject of conversation. We also took many walks in the foothills near Auburn, enjoying the woods, rocks, and flowers. Clark always added to our love and appreciation of nature. One hot summer, that of 1927, when we were all wilted and tired of the heat, we invited Clark to go with us on a camping trip to the mountains in the Donner Peak Summit region. In order to take this trip, Clark had to make a complicated arrangement for the comfort of his parents. He filled pails and tubs with water, drawing it from the Smith's abandoned mine shaft turned well, and laid in a supply of wood for them. It is hard for anyone to believe the primitive way in which the Smiths lived. No running water or electricity, and a kitchen stove is the only means of heating and cooking. This was the old stove in which Mrs. Smith baked for us a delicious loaf of bread for our trip, and also in which Clark later fired his rock carvings. After a few days of short walks, we proposed a longer walk to Crater Ridge, where we had gone many times in the past, but now we were going with a companion who came under a spell of strange thought, transforming the scene into a foreboding and grotesque landscape, which Clark later used in his now famous story, The City of the Singing Flame. Clark wandered about among the boulders, studying the rocks and the general terrain. We could all see that he was deeply affected by the place. Later in the afternoon, while Clark was still feeling a strange influence, after we had sat down to look at the views which combined to make this place especially beautiful, I suddenly suggested that he use his powers of writing for fiction, which would be more ruminative than poetry. His financial situation at the time was critical, and some practical advice seemed in order. This prodding led to Clark's writing of weird fiction, and thus the walk to Crater Ridge started the flow of work which has made Clark the well-known writer that he is.
Wow.
So I thought that was appropriate for our trip.
So how many times have you been up here?
Probably a dozen, if not more. 2 dozen. Wow. I stand corrected.
What do you think? Look at my...
2 dozen? How about you,
what do you think
Donald?
of my pipe?
Don's gone more than I.
Oh, yeah?
I've made several trips without him, but he started the whole thing. And George Haas, correct?
Yeah, I forgot when I first came up here. I had to have gone with somebody because I don't drive.
Yeah. How many times do you think you've been here? A couple dozen?
Yeah, I would say. Well, we've been, you and I, quite a few times.
Quite a few.
Huh.
And one time we did discover a wall which had mortar, and we never found it again.
Wow.
And that's very frustrating.
Huh.
I have a picture of Don standing between the 2 portals, but now we can't find the portals anymore.
Oh, really? Is it hard to find?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, they have gone back into the other dimension. Too many people will... That's an interesting, that beyond the singing flame, that they want to destroy the portals, which are set up in different dimensions, because too many people are escaping from the reality wherever they're located.
Yeah.
I think it was Dennis Rickard who speculated on the image of on the other world. The landscape is littered with the broken bones and skis of hapless skiers who accidentally shot through the portal.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.